Ito ang programang Bawal ang Pikon. Get it straight with Daniel Rason. Kasama po natin si Senator Aquilino Nene Pimentel Jr., isa sa mga respetadong former legislator po ng ating bansa na maraming naibalangkas na batas. At isa nga dito, itong batas tungkol sa ARMM. Pero ngayon, pumapasok po itong Bangsamoro Basic Law na pinag-uusapan. Sa palagay ba nyo, magiging successful ito, in your honest opinion, Senator?
Dan, ang reaction ko dyan ay number one, we should welcome any effort towards peace.
Yes.
Huwag naman sabihin na ayaw namin yun. Basta, no, it should not be.
Opo.
Pero, meaning to say, maaari ding punahin natin kung merong pagkukulang. Now, dito sa issue ng Bangsamoro Peace Agreement with the MILF, between government and the MILF, ang napuna ko na medyo mabigat ito dahil sa while they were signing this peace agreement in Kuala Lumpur, putukan na doon sa Indanan on the same day, Dana, while they were signing,
that's right.
doon. And after the signing, sa Lanao, putukan na naman yung BIFF, yung mga freedom fighters, so-called. Now, pero let us present from those incidents na violent talaga in nature. Let us go to the theoretical framework. Isa sa mga reklamo na nadinig ko mula kay Sising Ferdowsi Abbas kahapon, sabi niya na ang mga kuwan daw, ito naman generalized statement na ang mga tao na gumagawa nito, sabi niya mga pro-Marcos yan, medyo mabigat naman na salita yun. But just the same, makikita mo na ang reaksyon, para bagang ayaw namin yan. Okay, now, to be more specific, the Sultan of Sulu, Dan, guest namin doon sa University of Makati, Pimentel Center for Local Governance, sinabi niya na ayaw ko yung tawagin nila yung Sulusi, Bangsamoro Si. Sabi ko, Sultan, bakit? Sabi niya, because yung salitang Moro, masama yun. Dala ng mga Kastila yun para masamain kami, parang to picture us like uncivilized, warlike people. I don't like that. So ano nga yung solusyon mo, Sultan? Sabi niya, so we oppose this proposal na ngalanan itong Sulusi, Bangsamoro Si. Ang tatawag namin dyan ay sulok. Meaning the sea of the people of the waves daw ang meaning noon sa kanilang lingwahe. But more important than yung issue, sabi niya, sinong makinabang ngayon sa mga resources dyan sa ilalim ng Sulusi? Because of course, alam natin na nabalitaan na maraming oil doon. There are oil or gas flowing underneath the doon sa ilalim ng rocks doon sa Sulusi. And so, ang laking issue na kailangan ma-define diyan sa Bangsamoro law. And that is probably why President Noynoy is also being very careful na bago siya mag-propose, may labas ang anumang law na ito, ma-address na yung mga solusyon na yun because otherwise patuloy ang bakbakan doon.
The very reason bakit pumasok itong Bangsamoro law po na ito, na pinag-uusapan ngayon, is naghahanap pa rin tayong patuluyan ng solusyon sa lasting peace.
Yes.
And one of the laws that you have crafted, itong ARMM, which was actually also gearing towards looking for a solution para sa peace. Malaki bang naging failure ng ARMM that there is a need for the Bangsamoro law to come in?
Then actually there are two laws here. Ang una, original Bangsamoro law and then amended because nag-demand nga sila na dapat ma-amenda ito. Nagkataon naman na when they were asking for amendment, nandun ako sa Senado. So we were able to address that. Ang ginawa ko, I crafted the amendatory law based sa kanilang mga input.
Okay.
Kasi I went around, consultation kung saan-saan, para marinig kung mismo ang salita. Hindi lang dito sa Maynila ang hearing ng committee, dinala ko sa mga liblib na mga lugar. Now, anyway, Para bagang nasubukan na for a while tahimik, walang outright bakbakan, until nagkaroon na naman ng reaksyon si Normi Suare na kailangan madagdagan ang mga kapangyarihan at ang poder at saka pera na binibigay sa autonomous region for their development. And essentially, I agree with that. I agree. Of course, siyempre, nung ginawa natin yung ARM law, merong mga limitasyon because you consider the budget and everything, capability ng gobyerno and so forth and so on. Pero, actually, dan ang totoo niya na ako'y naniniwala that unless you adopt a federal system, bigyan mo ng federal state ang mga Muslim people, and then, pagdating doon, sa puntong yun, do not stop there because ang ibang mga rehiyon ng Pilipinas, aangal, ba't sila lang binigyan mo yan?
Opo. Exactly.
So, it's better you adopt a federal system for the entire Republic of the Philippines. But that means amending the whole constitutional framework at involving the entire nation in the amendatory process of the Constitution.
So sinasabi niyo po na hindi pa rin solusyon itong pag-craft nitong Bangsamoro Law?
Kulang.
Okay.
Sabihin na lang natin.
Kung sa kakulangan po, how do we augment yung kakulangan po nito?
Okay. Through the adoption of the federal system, because federalism will now give them sufficient not only resources but the ability to run their own affairs pursuant to the national framework under the Philippine Constitution.
Which realistically speaking, hindi pa mangyayari ngayon sa atin.
Hindi pa
dahil
mangyayari.
hindi naman kinayayakap ito.
That's right.
So that means it's the same as saying din po na we're very far from realizing yung gusto nating na mangyari.
I agree. I agree with you, Dan. In the meantime, we have to appeal to the Moro peoples to be a little patient. Pero give them what is their due in terms of finances because you can give them additional powers pero walang additional na pera. Paano nila gawin yun?
Were you consulted in one way or the other by the present administration as regards ito pong crafting of this Bangsamoro Law?
Well, siguro Dan, my time has passed. Wala na tayo doon. So, they did not ask our opinion. So, mabuting at merong forum na ganito because we can air our views.
Alright. So, kung halimbawang if you are now seated before the President, ano pong pinaka-advice na maibibigay ninyo sa kanya with regard to this problem?
Well, to work towards the adoption of the federal system. Because ako'y naniniwala talaga in my studies that federalism is an internationally recognized solution to the problems of secession. Kaya nga nag-federalize sila para hindi... I was trying to show to some people that, for example, in India, India has the biggest Muslim population outside of Pakistan. Daming mga Moro doon. Pero you have yet to hear a sustained rebellion by the Moro peoples. Bakit? Because of federalism. Meron silang federal states doon na pang sarili nila, mapatakbo nila within the framework of the, you might say, the Indian Constitution.
At dahil hindi pa naman po yan pinag-uusapan, and I don't think that they will be adopting that, not in this administration siguro. Ano po nakikita ninyo ngayong dulo nitong usapan na to? Anong nakikita ninyong senaryo dito sa usapan ng Bangsamoro Law?
Palagay ko, pangsamantala, magkaroon ng walang tutukan. Okay? Pangsamantala. Because you are now approaching an armed group, mainly composed of the MILF partisans, na, uy, tahimik na tayo muna. So baka magkaroon ng katahimikan for the moment. But believe me, other factions are bound to rise up again. Walang katapusan ito, Dan, unless we adopt a federal system talaga.
So, we're not being alarmist naman po, pero nakakakita ba kayo ng na-open na mga panibagong avenues of conflict dito?
Well, as a matter of fact, hindi na kailangan sabihin ko na bago because ang putukan doon sa bandang Sulu, sige pa. Masilan, kidnapping, left and right, in the name of supposedly advancing the cause of the Moro peoples. You have the Abu Sayyaf and the BIFF who still have to be, which still have to be parang suppressed, ano? So, yun ay mga prueba na patuloy ang putukan.
So from your point of view, ang tanging solusyon lang dito ay federalism.
That's the only feasible, logical, peaceful, constitutional solution na kayang gawin.
Well, ngayon ho, nakikita natin isang nangyayari sa atin sa Pilipinas, of course, ay gearing towards election na naman tayo. At nakikita na naman natin, nagkakaroon na naman ng ikangay pukpukan kung sino ba ang talagang maupo dito. Kayo, kung kayo tatanungin, sino ba gusto niyo maging presidente ng Pilipinas?
Well, ako naman dan, I am, I don't know, I'm a born oppositionist siguro. So, naghanap ng, as a person from Mindanao noon ako, I want to, kung maaari, makakuha kami ng kandidato, viable candidate for the presidency from Mindanao. Pero it looks like the reality is that baka wala.
Okay.
Nag-usap kami ni Digong Duterte, is mayor of Davao, is a friend of mine. At tapatan sinasabi niya sa akin na tumatanda na ako, tumatanda na raw siya. At hindi na gaanong, he does not feel physically capable of handling the problems of the nation as president. Yan ang nagmumula sa kanyang bibig.
So you're egging him sana?
We were looking for a viable candidate.
Okay. So wala na pong iba?
Wala naman siguro because itong aming dalawang senador, si Tuti Ginggona at saka si Coco, baka kailangan pa nila ng a little more maturing process. Okay. Para makita na nila lahat ng mga anggulo ng problema ng bansa.
So given that, sinong presidente?
Now, si Jojo ngayon is of course the leading light of the opposition. There's no question sa tingin ko. Even the surveys show that. Pero ang problema lang malayo pa dan and many things can happen. And I remember having told some friends na when Mar Rojas and Jojo Binay were contesting for the vice presidency, sa mga survey, 40+% na si Mar, si Jojo 0.03% pa lang. But as the campaign period went on, akyat ng akyat si Jojo na overtaken si Mar. So, meaning to say, ang gusto kong sabihin kay Jojo, while you are leading the parang surveys for the opposition, kailangan maipalabas na rin ninyo ang inyong plataforma na para sa bayan. How things can be done, especially for Mindanao. Itong pinag-usapan natin tungkol sa Bangsamoro province.
What do you think is the biggest problem of the president or President Aquino? Bakit medyo naapektuhan ngayon yung kanyang rating?
Well, siguro isa na yun yung perception na parang inaatake ang judiciary. Baka ganoon. Secondly, siguro yung tinanggal ang PDAP na nagiging DAP na lang, marami rin siguro mga politiko nagalit, but wala na PDAP.
So ngayon po, kung tatakbo ng presidente si Vice President Jojo Mar Binay, still, nasa kanya ang inyong full support?
Yeah, so far, I mean...
matagal na kayong matagal lang. So, buo pa rin po ang inyong relationship.
There is no question about
Solid pa rin po ang inyong relationship. But kahit na hindi siya Mindanaoan, you believe that... pero, still, naghahanap kayo ng isang taga Mindanao.
Sana. Pero looks like, I mean, the realities are, ang hirap. Like looking for the proverbial needle in the haystack.
What about yung sa puso ninyong gusto niyo maging vice president?
Well, I really have no inkling about that. Hindi ko na pinag-usapan yan because number one, the presidential candidate will have a lot to say about that. Kasi sinong gusto niyang kasama. So probably pagbigyan na natin kung sino yung magiging presidential candidate ng opposition.
Ayaw niya na bang bumalik ng mag-Senate uli?
Dahil sa 2010 natapos na yung aking term sa Senado at in-interview ako ng mga press people from the Senate kung ako ba'y tatakbo ulit. Sabi ko sa kanila, hindi na nga ako makalakad, tatakbo pa.
Maraming salamat po for being with us and we really appreciate po na nagpasyal kayo ulit sa amin. Ang isa po sa pinaka-respetadong naging mambabatas ng atin pong bansa, Aquilino Nene Pimentel Jr. Dito lamang po sa programang Bawal ang Pikon. Get it straight with Daniel Razon.